Boom. What's up, citizens of Gotham? My name is Graham Elwood. We are all together going to make Gotham great again. Progressive Comedy Tour coming to Florida January 9th through the 12th. Where are we going? We're going to Gainesville. We're going to Coral Gables. We're going to Orlando. We're going to Jacksonville. Nico House is going to open for us down in Coral Gables. Awesome shows down there, guys. Get your tickets before the venues sell out. We always get nice, cool, little intimate venues. Tickets sell out. You don't want to miss out. Way more dates that I'm adding, so just keep checking back at grahamelwood.com and support the show on the Patreon, because when you do that, like at the $5 pick a topic level, you get to do cool stuff like this. Tim Stack sent us an article. Tim Stack, Public Ownership Solution, which is written by Thomas Hanna. Thomas Hanna, I want to make sure I get this right, wrote a book called Our Commonwealth, The Return of Public Ownership in the United States, which is what this article is always all about. The U.S. has a surprisingly large amount of public ownership, but in order for it to truly serve the social good, it must be expanded and democratized. I'm going to get into what the article says. This is, again, Tim Stack, who's been a longtime supporter of the show. He is also a godless socialist living in a yurt somewhere in the high country in Colorado. God only knows what he's doing. But Tim, thank you so much. What if I just became a right wing? I just go Glenn Beck. Today's the episode. I just Hannity right. Socialism is murder. I live in a country club. And it's a very lengthy article. I would suggest reading the whole thing because it gives great detail of all of the areas in the United States that are socialized and how many jobs they create and the public money and the public ownership of everything, which kind of helps, I think, the conversation, because Americans think, oh, everything's privatized and privatized is so great. And it's like, here are all these things that are publicly owned that a lot of them actually function quite well. Some of them could use improvement, but this notion that privatizing automatically makes everything better. It makes it better for the ruling class, the one percenters. It's better for them, privatization. It's not better for you and me. Anytime they say it's good for them. It's like bipartisan. That's good for the two parties. It's not good for you and me. So this is a great article, and it's like, I would even recommend, I want to read this guy's book now. Socialism in the United States is making a comeback. Socialists are winning elections at the local, state, and federal levels. The membership of the Democratic Socialists of America stands at a record 55,000, and polling consistently finds that younger Americans have relatively positive opinions of the concept. I don't know why these millennials are going all socialist, man. What, they don't like their avocado toast? Why would you millennials be socialist? It's not like you've seen the economy rob your parents of their homes and their retirement. You are out in the world with no jobs. You have to work 2 and 3 jobs and drive for Uber and Lyft and have some sort of deliver food or something like that. If you do want to get a good job, you got to work for some tech company that is not doing technology to make the world a better place. They're doing some bullshit like a cat food delivery, the cat food app, cat app. Like, so those are your choices. You're crushing student loan debt. Why would you want socialism? I don't get it. These millennials, they're such crybabies. Well, you guys are just maybe stop buying $20,000 worth of avocado toast. That's the problem. Oh, it's not that the real estate market is out of control and no one can own a house. This is what terrifies the powerful. That the younger generation isn't just embracing rampant, greedy, filthy capitalism. They want you to. The millennials that watch this, they want you to punch out. They want you to just care about bullshit. Video games and Pokemon and Kylie Jenner, whatever. They want you all wrapped up in that nonsense. They just want you on your phones doing stupid bullshit, taking selfies of your boobs or your abs or whatever and not paying attention. That's what they really want for you. They're like, what? Membership is up? The state that has the largest number of DSA chapters opening up? Texas. Red state. That's got to be terrifying. How do we keep the country divided if socialists are getting traction in a red state? Uh-oh. It's great. It's great that this is the kind of stuff that gives me hope. The fact that the younger millennials are really embracing socialism, because their whole entire life, like, look at it. If you're 18 So if you're 17 years old, we have been in a war your entire life. Like I was talking to Ron Placone about this. He's 34. He's like on the older end. I go, half of your life, Ron, we've been at war. Half of your life. If you're 34 years old. Half of your life. If you're turning 18 in 2019, if you're going to turn 18 in 2019, your entire life we've been at war. Why would you want socialism? God, you millennials. Your participation medals. You're participating in a broken system. Smash your participation medals and join the DSA. In the economic realm, one such approach is expanding public ownership. Enterprises, services, assets, and other entities owned and operated by the state at various levels. When done the right way, public ownership can create more equitable distributions of wealth, and power can be a mechanism for addressing vital social needs. Ooh. Like, so there's the public bank in North Dakota. We tried to pass it here in Los Angeles. This article goes into the fact that the Prop B in LA didn't have a lot of money. It was kind of thrown together last minute, and it still got 42% of the vote. I was very disappointed it didn't pass. But there's two good things coming out of that. One, they're putting a bill together to get on the ballot in New York City. This article is claiming. That's awesome. If New York City gets a public bank, that's good. It also, and this happens with some ballot measures, the first one, they tried, they didn't have the money, or they try a second one. This time it'll pass. We tried recreational marijuana in California several years ago, and it did not pass. The wine lobby, because they have a big lobby, tried to block it. We finally got it passed. Took us a couple times, but we got it passed. So that's the thing, where if 42% of the people voted for a thing they didn't know much about, when the next recession hits, I bet you people are going to be screaming for more public banks, and you're going to see them start happening all over the country. Just like when net neutrality got taken away, everyone went, whoa, whoa, municipal broadband. Wait a minute, maybe Chattanooga, Tennessee's onto something. So, there's some very positive stuff in this article. There are around 2,000 publicly owned utilities that, along with consumer-owned cooperatives, provide around 25% of the nation's electricity. In one state, Nebraska, every single resident and business receives electricity from a community-owned institution rather than a for-profit corporation. Around 87% of the U.S. population gets its water from publicly owned water at the municipal level, significantly higher than in some other advanced economies, including England, where water privatization has been a costly disaster. Where else have we got socialism rearing its red menace head? Nearly all public transportation systems. I knew the buses were in league with Putin. Oh, he makes them only go this one route. Susan Sarandon. Buses, subways, trams in the United States are publicly held. These vital economic drivers directly and indirectly employ tens of thousands of local residents and move millions of people to and from jobs and other activities. So let's look at that. Right? Let's look at public transportation. That's what it's called. Now, I've talked about this with regard to MMT. So the federal government can issue currency. Local governments cannot. Local governments and state governments are bound by the restrictions of how much money they bring in and how much money they can spend, the same way you and I are. They can operate at a deficit, obviously, just like you and I can. You can have a home loan, credit card debt, car loan, whatever. So when they take public money and make public transportation is a service for people, kids that don't have driver's license, the elderly that can't drive, people that can't afford a car, people that are just godless hippies like myself or Tim Stack that want to take public transportation and leave our cars at home. And what happens when you put that money into a service for the people? All these jobs are created. Look how many people the mechanics, the drivers, the infrastructure at the Public Transportation Authority, right? There's a whole department, all the ads you see on the side of the buses and inside and on the trains, somebody is selling ad space. That means there's an ad department. That person's getting employed. There's a marketing department. There's an outreach department. There's all this stuff. The companies that build the buses, and a lot of those are built overseas, but we could be building them more here in our country for sure as part of the Green New Deal. See how it benefits everybody? I like taking public transportation. Especially in LA, a lot of times it's easier. When I'm going downtown to the Staples Center, sometimes I take the train because taking the 10 freeway is it's going to take me an hour and a half, or the train takes me 45 minutes. Many cities own public markets where space is rented out to individual vendors. Several cities own hotels, often alongside publicly held convention centers. Across the country, nearly 500 commercial airports are publicly operated. Again, each one of those locations, think of all the... I think about this all the time when I fly. How many jobs am I helping support when Ron Placone and I go on the Progressive Comedy Tour? Like when we go to Florida, right? First of all, we got to get to LAX. So that means I'm either taking a train, or well, not a train, there's a bus that goes that I can take to LAX. So I'm either paying that municipal bus that I was just talking about, or I'm taking a Lyft. So that Lyft driver's making money, the Lyft organization is making money. When I get to the airport, I'm going to check bags. So there's an airline attendant checking my bags. There's a baggage handler behind the scenes that's getting my bags. And then I go through TSA. So those are federally paid employees that are getting paid. And there's a little fee on your plane ticket that they go for, right? Then I go maybe get something to eat in the terminal. Those people are getting money. The distributors of that food are getting paid. Where that food is grown and purchased, they're getting paid. And then I get on the airline itself, then there's the cabin crew, then the maintenance crew of that airline. Then when I land, there's the baggage crew and the gate crew at that town, which will be in Gainesville, Florida. Ron and I are getting a rental car. So like if there's a shuttle bus to the rental car place, that shuttle bus driver and all the people with that rental car agency are getting paid. So when you buy a ticket to the Progressive Comedy Tour, look at how many jobs you're helping support. The company that makes our t-shirts that we sell after the show, the bar, the people working at whatever venue we're performing at. Then Ron and I are basically tourists in all of these cities, Gainesville, Coral Gables, Orlando, Jacksonville. So now we're buying food and we're infusing money back into that local economy. These commonly, the commercial airports, operate like large real estate businesses in which airlines and shipping companies, together with restaurants, car rental companies, these things sound like something I just said, clothing stores, newspaper and magazine outlets, and many other businesses all rent space. Hundreds of publicly owned commercial ports in the United States directly and indirectly support millions of jobs and trillions of dollars in economic activity. Ron and I, when we go on the Progressive Comedy, we're just two guys flying coach. Renting a not very fancy, like a Toyota Corolla, nothing fancy. Right? But think about all those jobs that you're helping. Think about all those jobs that are impacted. A lot of that, they're public jobs. In Costa Rica, Banco Popular, the country's third largest bank, has a democratically elected assembly made up of 290 members. The assembly in turn advises on the bank's strategic direction and selects 4 of the company's board members, with another 3 appointed by the government. The bank uses a nationwide popular consultative process to craft its future strategic direction, requires 50% of board members to be women, and directs a portion of the revenues to special projects through its social bank subsidiary. The bank has also become a leading financer of ecological sustainability in a country as part of its triple bottom line, an approach seeking economic, social, and environmental returns. And I can tell you firsthand, Costa Rica has some of the most progressive environmental policy I've ever seen. They're getting rid of all single-use plastics. I had paper straws there. And I've seen some idiots on social media like, oh, your paper straw, you liberals, it's ruining my cocktail. Fuck you, man. You're a jackass for saying that. I wish dolphins could talk and type and had a large online presence so they could shout down these morons. Like anytime someone does that on social media, do me a favor, just get a photo of one of the 5 islands of floating garbage and just respond to that person and go, thanks, you crybaby. There's also a portable reusable straw you can buy, I found. Google this. It comes in a little case about like this. You open it up and it's like a rubber straw. I don't know, maybe it's metal or something. It collapses and you use that and you can clean it at home or whatever, but then you're using that same straw. You're not using all of these single-use plastic straws. Jackwagons. In the 1994 book, Socialism for a Skeptical Age, British socialist Ralph Milbrand wrote, "The drive to privatization should be seen for what it is, a political enterprise based on the wish to widen the scope of the private sector. You know, that criminal organization from the early Bond movies. To widen the scope of the private sector, to weaken government's capacity to direct economic life according to criteria determined by democratic deliberation and decision, public enterprise makes possible a democratization of economic activity far beyond anything that capitalism can achieve." Tim Stack, thank you for submitting this article at patreon.com/GrahamElwood. A lot of great ways to support the show, folks. Watch the videos, like, subscribe, comments. YouTube tracks all those analytics. Videos that get more views and likes and comments, they put them up there. The more popular a video is, the more they put it out there and the more views it get. Let the ads play all the way through on YouTube. If you subscribe to YouTube Red, I get paid even whenever you watch one of my videos, I get paid. So if you decide to be a YouTube Red subscriber because you don't want to watch ads, I get paid every time you watch one of my videos. So just let them run. And share these videos through YouTube, because then through YouTube's analytics, they're tracking that these videos are getting likes and more shares and all that other stuff, which again, they will then, in the "you may also like these videos," will start putting more of those on people who are watching bigger shows like TYT or Jimmy or Kyle Kalinske or anybody like that. A lot of great ways to support the show for free and beyond. Thank you all, because you're making Gotham great again. Look at it right there.